guys, welcome back to another video. Carly here. So today we have a baking video for you guys. Today is April 2nd currently. It is currently my brother's birthday today, so happy birthday to Landon. I hope you enjoy the cake we're about to make you. We are going to be making a cake for his birthday. We have red velvet and white cake. I have a plan that involves a lot of work. So this is going to be interesting. I'm going to take you guys along with me to make this birthday cake for him. I'm really excited about how it's going to turn out and everything. We are celebrating his birthday tomorrow, so I'm making his cake tonight. So let's do it. I just got these box mixes. I got the Pillsbury red velvet and then the Great Value white. So I'm just going to mix up the cake mixes and bake them, and then I'm going to let them cool off and we will do what we need to do. We're going to start by mixing only one of them up. We're going to start with the white. That way, you know, white, we don't compromise it with the red velvet at all, and we get the white out of the way. So we're just going to follow directions on the box. You need 1 1/4 cups of water, 1/2 cup of oil, and 4 egg whites for the white box cake mix. So we're going to start with mixing this up.
Okay guys, so we're opening up our mix. Cut it open. Yes. And we're going to add it to our bowl. Sometimes they like smell, the cake mixes smell at certain things. Keep knocking that over. Okay, so we need 1 1/4 cups of water. So we have our water right here. We got 1 1/4 cups of water. And then we need 1/2 cup of oil. I'm just going to use the 1 cup measurement and do 1/2 cup into the bowl. Okay. And then we need 4 egg whites, but we are using yogurt as a replacement for our egg whites because we don't have any egg whites. Well, eggs. So we need 1 cup of yogurt. And I think this might be exactly what we need. So we're going to get our measuring cup. We're just going to pour it in there. This is definitely going to be everything that we need in this yogurt container. Okay, so okay guys, we're going to add our yogurt to the bowl. And then we're going to mix it. Try to get all the yogurt out of the bowl as I possibly can. Okay. Alright. We're going to mix our cake mix and we'll be back.
Okay guys, so here is our mix. Looking beautiful. We are going to get our pan ready. I have to put it together, so give me 1 second. Okay guys, so we're gonna pour oil in our pan, and we're going to use this to spread the oil around all over our pan.
Get a nice coat. This is supposed to keep the cake from sticking, so make sure you do a really nice coat of oil. And then,
that's a little itchy. We're going to start pouring the mix in.
okay, we're gonna get a little spatula to scoop out the extra.
Just making sure we get all of the mix out of the bowl. Alrighty. Now that we got all of our cake mix in our pan, we're going to give it a tap on the counter. A little shake, just to kind of get all the air bubbles out. Our oven is not quite preheated, but once it is, we're gonna pop the cake in the oven. Okay guys, so our oven is all preheated and we're going to pop the cake in. there's a pan in the oven. Alrighty, we're going to put the cake in on the bottom shelf for like 15 minutes. We're gonna do 16 minutes for the bottom rack, and then we're going to swap the racks and put it on again for another 15 minutes. Okay guys, so our cake is done. Our white cake is done. Beautiful, golden. We're gonna let it rest for a little bit and let it cool off a little bit, and then we are going to mix the other cake and do that one. We're just going to let this cool down a little bit. That way it's not as hot. We can dump it out of the pan so we can use this pan for the next cake round. Let's let it cool, and then we'll be back to mix up the next cake, the next box cakes mix, cake box mix, whatever. We'll be back. Hey guys, we are back now. Our white cake is chilled and cooled and everything, and our cake pan actually comes apart right here. That way you can get the cake out easy, but this cake is out. Oops. We're going to set it on this cake pan. It's probably what we're going to decorate it on, build it on, and then take it over to my parents on. Or I was thinking about doing it on the bottom of this. I'm not sure yet. We'll figure it out. Don't mind this glare right here. It's from the light. I've moved the camera multiple times and I can't figure out a spot without the glare. So we're going to make up this box mix. So we are going to do, it calls for 1 cup of water, 1/2 cup of oil, and 3 eggs. So where's my skizzers? I had them somewhere over there. Could you grab them for me, babe? Fun fact, ever since I can remember, I've been making the birthday cakes for my family. I'll put the multiple different cakes I've made somewhere around. But I've made multiple cakes. I'll put all the cakes that I have pictures of around the screen somewhere to show you guys. But I've done really cool cakes ever since I can remember. So we have our cake mix in the bowl. And I always really love baking. Always really loved cooking. It's been something that I really enjoyed ever since I was young because of my mom. And it's something I'm going to continue to love and do for the rest of my life because of my mom. I don't know if she watches my YouTube. I think she does, but I love you, Mama. I love both my mamas. I have 2. My mother and Lucy's mother. But we should, because it can get confusing. But I have 2 moms, and shout out to both of them because I love them very, 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 very much. But the one I'm talking about is my mom, my personal mom. She taught me how to cook, bake, and everything growing up, and I do everything that I do because of her. Yeah, I really love baking and cooking because of her, and I'm going to keep that as something that I do for the rest of my life. I also started to teach my fiance how to bake as well. Also, for y'all who don't know, we're drinking some adult juice as well. So we're feeling great. But it's gonna work out. Oh my god, I love red velvet cake. It's my brother's favorite. Fun fact, me and my brother never really been that close. Do you have my measuring cups clean, babe?
Yeah, over there.
Could you grab me the cup, please? Me and my brother have never really been that close, but I still love him. And I'm really excited about this cake because I'm putting in a lot of effort for it, and it's kind of how I show my love in baking and everything like that. So I really hope he loves the cake. So
It calls for 1/2 cup oil, so we're gonna add 1/2 cup of oil to the pan, or to the bowl. I'm going a little crazy now, Mike. Okay, calls for 1 cup of water. Not yet gold, but thank you. I'm gonna get 1 cup of water. My 1 cup. I'll be right back.
okay, I'm back with 1 cup of water. had my hand under it because it was like dripping off the sides. Okay, we're gonna wipe our hand down with this towel. Now we have all of our ingredients in the bowl, and we're going to give it a whisk. So the box says to whisk it for like 3 minutes, I'm pretty sure, 2 minutes, something like that. And a lot of people use hand mixers, but I always use, like, the electric mixers is what I mean. But I always use the regular old whisk. I feel like whisking it by hand is something I've always done, and something I feel like adds to the love and the, what is it? The time and the effort that you put into making something like this. I'm trying to stay away from the glare. Sorry, guys. So I hand mix it for a while until it becomes like really smooth. Right now it's not even close. I just got all the ingredients mixed, but we're going to mix it up until it's really smooth by hand, and we will be back. Come out of the glare.
Out of the glare.
Yeah, out of the glare.
I'm helping.
This is my fiance. For those of you who don't know, she's helping me make my brother's birthday cake.
I'm not that good at baking, but that one is.
I've always loved that. Thanks to my mama. She's helping me mix the cake mix. You're so cute. I love you.
I love you.
We're going to be back and show you guys the finished mixed cake. This is what it's looking right now, but we're going to keep mixing it until it's smooth. We're going to mix it for like about 5 minutes because I like it to be really spongy and everything. Also, look at this finished cake quick. Spongy, amazing. It's not as tall and thick as I thought it would be because of the fact that I think we used yogurt, and that's why, but it's really flat in the top, so we won't have to flatten this one. So it's really good. We are going to cut it in half though, that way we can put frosting between the layers. And I'm really excited about how we're gonna decorate the cake. I'm actually gonna put the inspo picture somewhere around here. Somewhere. Inspo. It's going to be a, for those of you who don't know the Resident Evil games or movies, there's Resident Evil. They are zombie-based movies and games, and I am making the logo, hence you've seen the reference, from the Umbrella Corporation. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to core out the center of the cake, and I'm going to add eyeball sprinkles and green sprinkles for the green for the zombies and the eyeballs for zombies as well. And I'm really excited about that. And the frosting to be in the crumb coat is going to be red, along with the final product as well. So I'm really excited. Just the inside of the crumb coat is going to be red, like the layers, and then the rest of the crumb coat is going to be white, like around the whole cake. So I'm really excited, and I hope this vision comes to life and it looks really good. But that's what I'm envisioning. That's what I'm really hoping for. I'm not sure if I'm going to finish the whole cake tonight or tomorrow, but we're going to try and do as much tonight as we possibly can. It's about 12 right now. We started around like 9 for the other cake. The only reason it's taking this long is because we had to wait for this cake to cool. That way we could pour it out of the pan, but we're still going. I'm really excited to see the finished product of this cake. Just like all the other cakes that I've made, they've been really beautiful, and I'm going to continue making them. And the only difference now is I get to share that with you guys every single time I make a new one. So I'm really excited about that. But yeah, I'm going to give my fiance a break and mix that cake mix. See you guys in a few minutes.
This smells so good.
So good.
Like, extremely good. You'll get that when that video comes out. You'll understand that joke when you watch that video. It comes
out before this video. That video will come out before this one, actually.
It is a get ready with me with her. I just want to eat it. You know that scene from...
Yeah, of course.
You know that scene from Shrek where he licks the cake? And this one doesn't even have frosting on it, and I want to do that. Not because I'm chunky, but because it smells so good. Look at that. Smooth like butter.
This is our final product for the cake mix. We are going to spray our pan with our non-stick spray, and then we are going to pour it in the pan and put it in the oven for about 30 so minutes. 30 so minutes. and then we will see you guys when the cake is all done and ready. Okay guys, so we have our pan and we're going to spray it down. I didn't realize we still have the nonstick spray. So I used the oil last time, but we're gonna use the nonstick spray all over the sides. Whole pan covered. And then we are going to pour our mix into our pan.
That looks delicious.
Okay, so we're gonna use the spatula to scoop out all this extra the best we can with this small guy. Okay, we got the bowl as best as we can. We're going to smooth out our pan cake mix. Do you want to let that?
No, thank you.
Okay. And then we're going to give this a tap on the counter to get out any air bubbles. We're going to wait until our oven is preheated. I just got red velvet mix on my arm. We're going to wait until our oven is preheated, and then we are going to pop that into the oven for like 30 or so minutes. We will see you guys when we pull it out of the oven. Okay guys, so I did end up changing clothes because it's really late. It's 1:22 at night and our cake is just freshly out of the oven. We are going to set it on a towel on the counter. That way it can cool down, and then we will be back for assembling the cake. But for right now, we're gonna let it cool. Hey guys, so it is the next day and I'm running low on time. I got only like 2 hours to bring this cake together. This is where we're at. My one cake layer is kind of falling apart. I'm figuring I'm going to use that for the center one to poke the hole in the center, but if it doesn't work, I have my cake scraps here. I plan to try making cake pops. I don't know if it's all going to work out because we're in a little bit of time crunch because of how everything's playing out, but we have our frosting. We're just using whipped fluffy white frosting. And we're going to do like the layers in between in red, and then we're going to do the rest in white. So I just gave this a mix, and then I'm going to put just the tiniest little blob on my pan for the bottom cake layer. So we're going to take our cake layer and set it in the center-ish, just like that. So we have also cut our cakes in half. They're not completely even, but I tried my best. Here's this one. This one is like completely falling apart, but I'm hoping if I can just kind of cut out the center, it'll be all right. So we have this. We are going to mix up some red frosting. So
I'm going to just put some in this bowl. I'm not sure how much we're going to need for in between the layers. I do need to go to Walmart to get a few more things, so if I don't have enough, I can always get more frosting. So no matter what, we're okay. I think we're just going to use the whole thing and do it red, and then see where we go from there. Because we do need red for the design as well. So we're just going to use all of it instead of just some of it, and whatever else we can always save for the design, or just crumb coat the cake in red. I plan to crumb coat the cake in white. That way we're going back and forth with the color since the logo is both colors, but I'm not entirely sure what we're gonna do. We're just going to play out and see. We're trying to get every last bit of frosting out of this container here. Okay, that is much as we're going to get. Here is our frosting. We always get the whipped stuff because it's so much better. Okay, and we're going to add our food coloring. So we have this. I'm really nervous about getting this cake finished in time, to be quite honest. I wasn't feeling all that well last night, and I didn't get to bed until like 4. We were working on the cake and everything, so busy bee. do enjoy making cakes, and I enjoy doing all this, so it's not a problem. I just need to make sure we're done in time. It's to be picked up. My dad is picking me and my fiance up later after he's out of work for the party. My sister is also up, so I'm really excited about that. I haven't seen her or her fiance in quite a while, so I'm really excited to see them.
Here's our color. Very pretty. We're going to do it in pink. Getting frosting and everything all over my hands. That's okay. That's the cost of baking. We're going to take a huge glob and just plop it right on there. I'm going to get you guys back so you can see a little better. And we're going to just spread it out. So this is the crumb coat layer. So if it's all crummy, that is all right. And it is supposed to be thin. To just kind of keep all the crumbs in and make sure I won't have any, you know, crumbs in the final layer. And the final product looks very clean and finished. So we're just spreading this on as thinly as we can. We are also going to take the cake over on this pizza pan that we have here because it's the easiest thing to make it on and easiest thing to transfer it on. Okay, so now we have to, so we're filling the cake with some sprinkles and stuff. So I got these sprinkles. What did I get this cup for? Oh, the holes in the center. Sorry, my bad. I got these eyeball sprinkles to put inside the center. And then I got these green sprinkles because zombies, sugar sprinkles. And then I also divided up these. They're sprinkles from my Day of the Dead sprinkles. Then I divided up all the skulls and the little circle balls. I thought that might be nice. That might be cool, you know? Okay. So I don't know how we're gonna do the whole cutting of the cake rounds. Let me see if we have like a cake board or something I can put them on. 1 second. Okay, so we have this cutting board and we're going to try and carefully transfer this vanilla round over. Oh, it's all falling apart. It's all crumbling to pieces. This is what I was worried about. We're gonna try and make this work. We're gonna try and make this work. Okay. We're just going to cut that out. So we got our disheveled round here. And we need to do the same thing with the red velvet. So here is our red velvet and our white. So we're gonna try and do this very carefully and smooth. So we have our one, get that out of the way. We're going to add our red velvet. It is kind of falling apart as well. Not as bad as the vanilla though. Ooh. And that's what we have so far. Okay, so now we're going to do the same thing. Blob. And a little blob over here. And then we're just going to spread it around the cake. Except for there's a hole in the center of the cake. So that hole is going to be for our surprise sprinkles in the inside. I'm really excited.
I just know my brother loves Resident Evil and zombies, and I thought this would be perfect for him. And like I said, I'm really excited to see what he thinks of it. I'm not sure if he's gonna like it, but we're hoping. I'm putting a lot of effort into it because it is his birthday gift from me and my fiance. So I'm just trying to make it really, really special for him, as best as I can. Anyways, being a baker at home who has baked a whole life. I'm not a professional whatsoever, but I have enjoyed making cakes my entire life. It's just fun, it's relaxing, it's nice. You get to come up with all kinds of creative ideas and see it and then bring it to life, and it's really cool.
We're gonna try and add this cake on top. And what we're gonna do, don't mind the noise in the background, it's kind of like that. Yeah, that worked. That worked. It's not the best.
And we're going to repeat the process and just do blob. I'm feeling it's gonna be harder to frost this layer because of how crummy it is, so I'm gonna put a little bit more blobbage on there. Not too much though, because we need some for the top of the cake as well. Okay, and we're going to spread this about. Now, I've never made, I think actually I've made one surprise cake once ever in my life, and I'm not positive on that, to be honest. I'm not 100% sure on that answer, but I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure. But that's okay. We're a good cake connoisseur, and I got this. Okay, so we're just going to put a little bit on the edges, on the inside. That way it is fully frosted, and just kind of to keep the edges clean to the best of my ability. And remember, this is a crumb coat, so it's not 100% needing to be perfect.
There we are. Little hole for our surprise, which we are going to put in now. Okay, so we have these, the green, and these. So I have no idea how this is gonna work. It would work better if I didn't spill the eyeballs all over the cake. We're just gonna doop, 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 doop. I'm just gonna sprinkle a little bit of these. We're gonna do like a little layering, and then we're gonna sprinkle a little bit of these. And then we're gonna pour some of these in there. Yeah. That's so cool. Okay. And then we're gonna do more eyeballs. More of those. A little bit more of these. The rest of the eyeballs. The rest of those. And a little bit more of that sugar. Okay. So here's our surprise cake. I'm really excited about how it's gonna look when it's cut open. Maybe I should pour a little bit more of this in there. Yeah, like that. Okay. We're gonna add our final round on top. We're going to put it on just like this, sealing all the goodness inside the cake. Okay. I am going to have a big mess to clean up, and this is why I didn't get dressed. I have it all over me. Okay, so we're going to get the rest of what we have in here and blob it on the cake. Just like so. And we're going to do the same thing and crumb coat the entire cake, the sides and all, with this final bit of frosting.
So yeah, I'm going to get the rest of this out with this spoon. I don't want to waste any frosting, especially since I need every bit that I get in the can. So I'm getting this out with all the abilities I have. Spoon, spatula, anything to make it better. Okay, get all that out of here. You are out of here. I think that's the best I'm going to get, no matter how hard I try.
So we're just going to blow, and we're going to spread. And remember, this layer doesn't need to be thick. It's meant to be thin. It's for catching all of those crumbs before your final layer. That way your final layer isn't all gumped up with the crumbs, and it's a nice, neat finish. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna pull the frosting to the sides just like so, and frost the entirety of the cake.
And like I said, this doesn't need to be perfect because it's just a crumb coat before we chill the cake. to keep all of those crumbs inside, so it does not need to be extremely thick. This smells so good though. This cake. Someone really good at baking. It's a joke, it's a joke. Just a little funsies with you guys. Ooh, my stomach's growling a little bit. Alrighty. Just trying to get all of this around here the best we can.
Alrighty. There is our cake, crumb coated and ready to chill. Let's put this in the freezer, let it sit, and then we will be back after our shower and the cake is ready to be decorated. Okay, guys, we're back. I was gonna say back and guys at the same time and it did not work out. We're back. We're wearing our apron because I got my outfit on for the day and I don't want to get it dirty. So we have a bowl, frosting. We need to mix up our red frosting, and we also got some piping bags to do the design because the design is a little difficult. I have less than an hour and counting to do this cake, and I'm a little bit freaking out because I have no idea if we're gonna get it done in time, but we have to, so we got this. Okay, so we're going to scoop all of the frosting inside this container.
After this one, we're going to give it a good mixy mix here in a minute, because we're going to add in our food coloring to this batch. So we're going to do this batch red, full on red, because we need it for our design. So, get all the frosting out of here. Okay.
Alright, that's every bit of frosting in that container that's possible to get out. Okay, now the fun part, mixing in the food coloring. We're going to need a lot because it needs to be red, but I just realized if I put in too much, it might be too dark, but that's okay.
Yeah, that looks like it might be perfect, actually. Took this beanie off now that I'm home. Threw it on because it was kind of cold outside. Now that we're home, it's hot. Okay, so we might need more red food colorings. Hello.
Okay, I think that's the best we're gonna get this red looking. All right, we have our red mixed up. We're going to grab our cake and start decorating. Okay, so here's our cake, chilled and ready. We're going to do this frosting first because we have to do the outline of the design before we can do the design. So we're going to mix this and get it in one of our piping bags because we have to do like a black trim around the design on the top. So we're going to coat the entire cake in this, and then we're going to do the little lines on the top. That way we have our indicators for where our colors need to go. Like I said, I'll put the reference somewhere on the screen to show you guys what I'm going for, but we're just trying our best here. All right, let's see. We're probably not going to do all of it at once. And we're going to do, should we frost the sides of the cake first is my question. And then the design on the top and then fill in the blanks. I think that's what we're going to do. So let's put my bag around a cup. That way it's easier to put in there. We're just going to let it drop right in there. We're going to do that again. All right. One more time. Just to be be safe. Okay, and then we are going to set that aside for now. Take our bag. We're gonna give it a little twist at the end. Okay, and then we're gonna set it there. We are going to need to grab the scissors because I didn't rinse off our little spatula because we will need that to frost the base of the cake. So I'll be right back. Okay, so we have our bag, scissors. We are going to do the around the cake before we do the design on the top. So we're gonna cut a bigger hole than you normally would. My stomach is growling. Maybe I should have done it with my other hand. Thought I would have cut nicer. Here we go. There we go. Okay. We're just gonna put our garbage in this container. Okay. We're going to frost around the cake like so. I'm going to just do like a line of frosting around the whole cake like this, and then I'm going to smooth it out.
Just our bag here. Make sure we got our pressure right. All right, we're moving along. Moving up the cake. When we do the design on the top, we're going to do it with a smaller cut tip because it's more fine design on the top of the cake than like big bulky lines. They're like really fine in between the design. Like I said, you'll see the photo, you'll see what I'm talking about. Okay. Alright, and then we're going to use the rest of this to kind of patch up any little spots I might see. Just to be sure we have everything we need.
Right, that's empty. We're going to now just go around the cake and flatten it out. Just like this. And we're just going to do bloop, the excess back into the container.
Looking nice and smooth so far.
Okay, so we got the outside done. Now let's get frosting in a piping bag to do the inside of the design. I'm pretty sure it goes 1, 2, 3. There's 8 squares. I need to get more frosting in the bag and look at my reference. I'll be right back. Okay guys, so what I did is make little indicators in the cake where everything is going. That way I can do the design easier. So now we're going to go ahead and get our cup and another piping bag. We're going to outline and do the little curves of the edges. I didn't do the little edges of it because it's curved around like that, the logo. I'm just going to pipe that on there first. That way I know where my lines are for the ending of it. That way I'm not doing more than I need to. Okay.
Going to just drop more frosting in there like we did last time. Okay. Just going to use up the rest of this.
I'm going to cut a thinner hole for this one because the designs for the outline is not as thick as the last one. I've said that multiple times. Okay, we're going to cut it with the other hand this time because I learned my lesson last time. I'm just going to do a tiny cut and then test it. Okay, do a little test. Yeah, that should actually be perfect. Okay. We're gonna start with the edges and work our way. So this symbol kind of does this inwards thing. Like that. But I don't want it to be too big, you know.
Like I said, I am not a professional cake decorator. I am just a person who loves decorating cakes. So we're trying this. Trying to really focus on this part because I don't want to mess that last one. Connect.
Can we check? Just like that. Now we're going to fill in our little dot in the center. Okay, like so. And then we're going to pipe all of these lines with least shaky hands as possible. Ooh, okay. It's a little bit hard for me to put pressure on this because of my surgery that I had on my wrist when I was younger, but we're trying. Okay, gotta show you guys the cake. Okay. Okay. I know I'm being really quiet while I'm doing this and not talking to you guys, but I really want to make sure I'm doing this good. Hence why I'm not talking. I'm trying to really concentrate on this because these lines are very delicate, and the thing is, I'm gonna have to go over these lines. I'm not gonna have time to make the cake pops like I wanted, but the cake is gonna look amazing, I hope. Okay. Next line. Last outline. My hand is so shaky today. Okay. And we're going to just redo this a little. All right. There we are. The drawing filled out. This is our outline. And I just remembered I have to fill in these pieces. And I just got rid of all of my frosting out of the piping bag. You gotta be kidding.
Okay. We are on a time limit, and I am messing up. Okay. We're going to get more of that frosting. Just a little bit. Back into this container because we're not going to need a lot. just like a scoop or so to fill in the edges. Just the tiniest little bit in there. You don't really need much for this because there's not much to fill in, just those little edges. Just kind of filling it in there the best I can. We're just going to like smooth it out with the bench scraper that I have. Not the bench scraper. Is it the bench scraper? I don't know. The frosting thing I got to make it smoother.
Okay. Now, I'm going to take this guy. We're just going to smooth it over. I'm going to take all the excess off, put it back into the container.
Okay, now we're just going to run across the sides here. Make sure everything's tip-top shape.
Okay. Now that's done, we can work on the colors now. So we are going to put our red into a piping bag. And start frosting the design. I do not know what time it is. I just know that last time I checked the time, we're running low on time. To be fair though, when people ask us to be ready on time, they gotta know we're gonna be late. I am always late. Always, 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 always running behind. Well, not late, sometimes, but I'm always running behind. Always happens. I don't know why. Okay, putting our red into our bag. We might have extra frosting here as well, though I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with it because it's red. We'll just have to see. And we're going to do a tiny hole for this one as well because they are small designs. Right. Frosting on the tip of this bag. I still feel this looks kind of pink, but we're out of time and food coloring. So, doesn't really matter, it's just every other one is a different color. So we're just gonna start with this one. And work our way around.
We're just going to do every other one. Crap, there's black on there. Don't want to rub the black all over the red. Okay, there we go. Okay. Perfect. Outline. So I'm definitely gonna have more red left. So we're definitely gonna have excess frosting, which is fine.
Okay, red is all done. I got everything smoothed out, the red as smoothed out as I can. We're going to move on to the white. Okay, we are almost done here. We just have to do the white and then we are done.
Last home stretch here. It's turning out pretty nicely. Better than I definitely expected, especially with the limited amount of time that I've had to do it. But good. Okay. I don't know what time it is, but I'm pretty sure any minute my dad should be here to pick us up. Soon anyways. I'll get the text. A little bit more in there, just in case. We don't need all of it, we'll just put it back into the container. Save it for later. Now, for the white. I got my whole big now. That's okay. We're gonna make it work. Okay. Last hole is in.
Okay, now we're gonna go through and smooth out the white, just like we did with the red, as carefully as possible.
All right. Smooth this one out. I really hope he likes this cake, because if not, I'm going to be really upset, because it has taken a long time, just like all my cakes, and a lot of thought. And even though it's not perfect, it's a freaking cake.
Okay. Now I think I'm going to try and clean up the edges of the center a little bit with some more of this. Just real fast.
That way I can fix up these lines quick. Love you. Love you. Thank you, baby. I love you so much. I just received my hair text, so I'm trying to hurry up and fix these lines in between the logo. That way we can get going, because my dad even asked me, you gonna be ready by 1:30? I said yes. So we need to get our butts moving.
Okay guys, so here is our finished cake. All done and ready for my brother. Resident Evil themed cake. What do you guys think? I really think it's amazing. I really love it. We have to get going now, so thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like this video if you guys like the baking videos. Hit the subscribe button, the notification bell next to the subscribe button, that you never miss another one of my uploads. And comment down below any video ideas that you guys would love to see. I am open to doing anything and everything you guys would like to suggest. And yeah, that's it guys. Sorry about the rush ending, but have a great fit rest of your day. Bye guys.